Good evening. My name's Jay Smith, and for our final project, I chose to do the option C, which is the case study of Hubway, a bike sharing program in the greater Boston area. Hubway began back in 2011, and for the sake of this case, I'm focusing on the year 2013, which is the last year we have the full year complete data. Hubway has one major issue, and that's ensuring that they're have enough bikes in the right places in the right time without carrying excess inventory. For background, Hubway began in 2011, as I stated a minute ago, with the goals of reducing traffic, reducing greenhouse gases, and promoting health and wellness. The capital costs for the program were funded by private sponsors, federal and state grants in cities of Boston, Cambridge, Somerville, and Brookline. And the operational costs are funded by bicycle rentals with the option of a daily, 3-day, monthly, or annual pass. The program is administered by Alta Bike Share, which is an Oregon-based company with a lot of history and expertise running these type programs. So as I mentioned before, Hubway's users, for the most part, are annual pass members who utilize the service to commute to and from work or school. Most of the time they hop on the bikes in residential areas, ride to centralized areas such as universities or major employment centers, and then they pull all the bikes from outside, they congregate them in the middle during the morning time. In the evening, the opposite happens. Everybody pulls the bikes out of the middle of town and moves them out to the residential areas. And this basically depletes availability throughout the network. So how Hubway fixes that is through a program called rebalancing. And what they do is they have a bunch of vans, they load them up with bikes and redistribute them throughout the network. They do a good job. Typically, they can move about 675 bikes a day, and get the bicycles where they're needed to people who want to use them. So how does Hubway track itself? They have a standard of service of 85% with bike racks neither full or empty, and they don't want an outage for longer than 23 minutes. They refer to this as being normal, and they do a pretty good job of it. The system, as of the most recent data, had a 92% average, so they're actually above average. And they had some areas that were below, and there are penalties in the contract, which they have to pay if they fall below that 85% level. But like I said, organization-wide, they're doing pretty good. I don't think they're where they could be, because when I calculated my critical fractal, I came up with a number of 0.87. So they're about 2% low. But like I said, they are doing pretty well. Their current capacity is at 1,200 bicycles. But again, when you plug this in to get your Q value, with your critical fractal, either way, they're overstocked currently. They have 1,200 at an 85% service level. They should have about 1,117, and at an 87% service level, they should have about 1,155. So I think they're over capacity, and that's how they're meeting this high number. But they should actually lean out their inventory because they're not allocating their resources to the optimal ability. And if they had actually used their formulas when buying the bicycles, they wouldn't have bought that extra 45 bikes at $1,200 a piece, and they could have saved $54,000, which they would be able to redistribute throughout the program to increase efficiency or for other purposes. So my analysis, I basically used this Excel spreadsheet here. I calculated my cost of overage and underage. Here's my critical fractal. I used trips per day is what I used to do my calculations for the most part, and I used my average revenue per trip to calculate, and my overages and underage, and my bicycle cost per day to calculate overages and underages. My Q score I took here, and since it's a news vendor model, it's supposed to be disposable, but in this case it's not. Because the bicycles are reused, so I took this value and divided it by 3.17 to get my adjusted Q value for the optimal stocking number. So from there, we get to our conclusion, and I think basically Hubway is doing a good job, but they could be better. They should reduce their inventory and optimize their cash flow through that route, and they should also leave their standard at 85, because I think that it's a reasonable number, because you can't, like I said, the demand forecasting for for Hubway is extremely difficult. They're ever growing and they're ever expanding, and one day is never the same as the next. So 85 is reasonable, but they should shoot to balance their books at 87%. And I also think they should undergo a rigorous network analysis program to make sure that they are redistributing the bikes as efficiently as possible. So if you have any questions, please leave them below the video, and I'll be glad to answer them the best I can. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your project.